Today is the first.
We're good.
All right. Good evening, everyone. I would like to call the special town meeting to order for October 1st, 2024. Will you please begin with the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. So I did check with the voter registrar, so everybody here is a registered voter. First step, we're going to elect a moderator. I nominate myself as moderator. Do I have a second? Floor is open. Anybody else want to nominate? Any other nominations? Any other nominations? Okay, so I declare myself the moderator by unanimous declaration. Next up, we're going to we're going to look at secretary. The process has always been the town clerk serves as the secretary. So I nominate Lisa Berg as our town clerk to be secretary.
Second.
Any other nominations? Any nominations? Any other nominations? I declare that Lisa Berg is our secretary by unanimous declaration. So next up, would the town clerk now read the call?
Warning, notice of special town meeting of the town of Bethel, Connecticut. The legal voters of the town of Bethel, Connecticut, and those persons entitled to vote therein are notified to assemble at a special town meeting to be held in the Clifford J. Hergen Municipal Center, Meeting Room A, 1 School Street, Bethel, Connecticut, 06801 on October 1st, 2024 at 6:30 p.m. for the following purpose, to wit. Number 1, to consider and take action upon the following items as recommended by the Bethel Board of Selectmen. Waiving property tax due in an amount less than $5 in accordance with Connecticut General Statute 12-144C. Acceptance of economic development as a distinct department within the town of Bethel. Acceptance of Department of Public Utility as a distinct department within the town of Bethel. Acceptance of information technology as a distinct department within the town of Bethel. Acceptance of lease renewal with the YMCA for 5 years at the current rate of $2,784 per month. Number 2, to take any and all action legally necessary or appropriate to accomplish the above intended results. Dated at Bethel, Connecticut, this 25th day of September, 2024. Bethel Board of Selectmen, Daniel E. Carter, First Selectman, Brian Terzian, Selectman, Richard C. Straighten, Selectman.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Next up, if the town council could please read the first resolution.
Shall the town of Bethel, as requested by the Bethel tax collector and recommended by the Bethel Board of Selectmen, waive any property tax due in an amount less than $5 pursuant to Connecticut General Statutes, Section 12-144C.
I make a motion that we accept the resolution as read. Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion. Any discussion? Would anybody like to comment?
I think it's a great idea.
No, if you're gonna say that, you'd have to give us your name and address.
Brad Colts, One Fairchild Drive. I think it's a great idea.
Thank you. Would you like any comments, sir?
Yeah, the stamp is almost $1 now to send it out.
Yeah,
The envelope and the paper and the time to come in is more than $5.
definitely. And I will say this too, over time, is that we can always revisit. The statute gives the ability to do less than 100. But,
Yeah.
basically, we originally were talking about, I think we wanted to do 5, but by the time we voted on it, the verbiage was less than 5. I think it's a great idea because we have a list of those folks that we keep sending mail to, and it's kind of ridiculous. So with that, any further discussion? Then I'll try your minds. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? The ayes have it. Motion is accepted. The town clerk, can the town attorney please read the second motion?
Shall the town of Bethel, as recommended by the Bethel Board of Selectmen pursuant to the town of Bethel Charter, Section C8-1, create a municipal department to be called the Economic Development Department.
I make a motion that we accept as written.
Second.
A discussion. I'll say this, I'll kind of lay it out so everybody understands. This and the other few motions we're talking about are really codifying something that the town has done in practice for some period of time. The economic development was under the Board of Selectmen, or actually the first selectman. And, it's kind of a position now that I think it'd be clearer to look at the budget on its own. And it makes sense to kind of evaluate the position on its own. We've been doing that and treating it like a separate position. And I can also say it's kind of a little bit of a dotted line because it also becomes the staff from the town to the Economic Development Commission. So again, I think we're just codifying something that's in practice. So, any questions or any comments?
Question. Brad Hope, One Fairchild.
Or not?
Can you explain the relationship the new department will have, both with you as
Mhm.
well as with the commission, as I've got a pretty good understanding of how it currently operates,
Mhm.
but I have to confess, having read a little bit on it, I'm a
Sure.
little fuzzy on what the day-to-day and operational mission
Right.
reporting.
And that's a very good question. You may recall when this position started, it was actually paid for by really the Economic Development Commission. This has been fully funded from the town for some period of time now. And I think that was the solidifying piece of now bringing it under the first selectman. So the department still works just like any other department. It's a department head of one, still reports to the first selectman. The first selectman does all the day-to-day reviews, everything to drive the department. It's really under the first selectman, just like any other department head. It's just now it's not buried in the first selectman budget. It's its own entity.
So it'll be better
Yeah.
transparency for the
Very much so.
fiscal operation department.
Yes. Okay, you bet. Any more questions?
No.
Anything? Okay. With that, I will.
Time has come.
Time has come. With that, I will try your minds. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion carries. Can the town attorney please read motion 3?
Shall the town of Bethel, as recommended by the Bethel Board of Selectmen pursuant to the town of Bethel Charter, section C8-1, create a municipal department to be called the Public Utility Department?
And I make a motion that we accept that as read.
Second.
Okay, again, for discussion, we're codifying something that's been done for some period of time. This one's particularly important, I will say, because in the past, right, it was under Public Works, entirely different type of operation. The two are acting as like equal department heads anyway. This is it's kind of its own entity because it's operated through an enterprise fund with public utilities. So it really needs to be on its own. And again, we're codifying what we've done for some period of time.
It's probably about 8 years.
Yeah. So any questions, comments? Okay, seeing none, I'll try your minds. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, any abstentions? The ayes have it. Motion carries. The town attorney, please lead motion 4.
Shall the town of Bethel, as recommended by the Bethel Board of Selectmen pursuant to the town of Bethel Charter, section C8-1, create a municipal department to be called the Information Technology Department?
And I make a motion that we accept that as read.
Second.
So again, kind of the same thing we said before. It is interesting to know that, we have done this as a department. We have 2 people in the department. So years ago, this came from data collection, or excuse me, data collection. Data processing. It's been that way for many, many years in the charter, and we're hoping in the revision that we'll change that as well to conform with this. But that was back when finance was the only one that was using it. So it really makes sense to come back into the next century and finally get this on its own.
This was longer than 8 years.
Yeah, many years. Many years. So it's its own entity now, and we'll make sure this gets fixed in the next charter revisions for us. Any comments, questions? Okay, seeing none, I'll try your minds. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The motion carries. And finally, for the town attorney, please read motion number 5.
Shall the town of Bethel, as recommended by the Board of Selectmen and pursuant to the town of Bethel Charter, section C6-4, renew the lease for the YMCA building at 57 Grassy Plain Street for 5 years at the current rental of $2,784 per month?
And I move that we accept it as read.
Second.
Okay. So just a quick little background. We have had the YMCA there for many years. The last lease was done in 2017. It was a graduated scale, which culminated in the current rate that we're keeping now instead of raising it of $2,784 a month. That would bring in over a 60-month period, $167,040. So it's actually a very good lease. It's good for them. It's good for us. They're taking great care of the building. They do most of the inside work. We take care of the outside. So it's been a very good relationship so far.
It's gonna be a renewal of the 2784.
It's renewal to $2,784 a month to begin on 1st of December 2024 for 5 years.
December
Yeah, it'll the new
when?
December 1st of that's the 21st, December 1st, 2024
Okay.
is when
The
it
next
begins
5 years.
for 5 years. Any questions or comments?
No, it just is a great
Yeah.
asset to the town.
It has been.
I have a question. Do we have any feedback from the folks at the Y relative to the affordability of the current rate?
Mhm.
And their confidence that we don't need to maybe consider lowering it? So,
That's actually a very good question. I met with the interim CEO of the Western Connecticut Y. They don't have a CEO right now. The CEO is filling in from Waterbury. And they were very comfortable with this. I mean, they asked that we not raise it, really, but they were very comfortable with this rate because it's been there for some period of time. We talked about it. They're getting the Western Connecticut Y back on its feet, but they felt that this was very fair, as did I. I actually did think about doing it for a shorter term. They asked if we could just continue it for 5 years, and I think that was an opportunity for them, and we said yes. So
And it was the interim director.
the interim director, yeah, the interim CEO. Let me make sure I got this. Yep. Okay. Any more questions, comments? With that, I'll try your minds. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Okay, with that, there's no further business to come before the special town meeting. I'd accept a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Tim Beeble. And we have a second from Rich Straighten. Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. We stand adjourned at 6:45.
Oh my gosh, are you fast?